We have been practicing Indian flower remedies for about 4 decades now. We started with integrated approach to healing our patients. We both are educated in modern medicine. I've done my MBBS and my husband, Dr. Atul Shah, is an MD radiologist. He's also an MRI expert. We took the road trusting the nature. It has the energy to heal us and the world. And here is the journey of treating so many patients with Indian flower remedies. This is our journey of learning and understanding Indian flower remedies. We want to share our journey and exploration which can heal you, me, and the entire world. Let's start the journey from the basic and how long it is used. Know what is a flower remedy. Let me tell you what is a flower remedy. So, flower remedy is the energetic imprint of a flower in water, and that water is now taken as a remedy. It is not an essential oil. No flowers are crushed in the process of making the flower remedy in the no cutting method. However, there is also a cutting method where flowers are cut and floated on the surface of spring water in a glass bowl. Only the energetic transfer happens in water, or biophotons are discharged from every living being, and the water captures this. It is as good as the energy field of the flower recorded by water. So there is no material transfer, there is no chemical transfer. It is just the energy transfer. Every flower has a message, a thought, an emotion associated with it. It's different for each flower. When we taste the water, we see chemically it is only the water. but it has taken the bioenergy of the flowers.
There are many ways we can use this flower remedy: orally, local application, spray. Many things are there: gel, lasers, hand spray, and neo hair therapy. So many things are there in this field that we can do it.
We are physical beings, but we are also energetic beings. And there is an energy field around us which is also called an aura. We are both physical and energetic beings at the same time. We have thoughts and emotions. When you take the energy remedy or energy from the flower, it is as good as accepting a thought and a positive emotion or a bhav from that flower. It is in the water now, and when you take the drops orally or apply it like a spray locally over your body, you are actually taking that thought of the flower into your own body. It is pretty much like installing a new program for ourselves.
It's like having into the integrated therapy, yes, it is not our visible body alone. It is even four more invisible body along with all soul is mixed. So it's very well we can feel down. So definitely flower remedy also having the same principle. It is after all the therapies are based on energy principle. Same principle is there.
Flower remedies are different from allopathy. It treats the root cause of disease, whereas allopathy merely treats the symptoms of disease.
See, allopathy has got a different level of action, while flower remedy is much higher, deeper, and it is encompasses right at the physical level, emotional level, mental level, spiritual level, auric level, meridians, chakra levels. So there are many areas which will be addressed by the flower remedies, which is not necessarily by the allopathy.
Meet Mayank Shah. He came to us for treatment.
थ्रोम्बोसिस हुआ था स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में इन द मंथ ऑफ अगस्त 2021। मुझे पता चला कि मेरे इंटेस्टाइन में ब्लड क्लॉट हो गया है और इंटेस्टाइन पूरी गैंग्रीन हो गई है। तो मेरे को सेम डे ऑपरेशन किया। ऑपरेशन होने के बाद मेरे को नेक्स्ट डे मेरे को स्ट्रोक आया, जिससे मेरी जो बोलने की जो अर्थ है वो स्टारिंग हो गया था। पर बाद में कुछ एंटीबायोटिक्स देने के बाद वो ठीक हो गया, लेकिन इसी कारण मेरा विजन मेरा लॉस्ट हो गया ऐसे 10 दिन के अंदर। और बाद में मेरे को कोई भी एंटीबायोटिक्स मेरे को बॉडी पे लग नहीं रही थी। उसके कारण मुझे जॉन्डिस, मेरा बिलरुबिन जो जॉन्डिस में होता है वो 29 पहुँच गया था, और मुझे एक सेप्सिस बीमारी हो गई थी जो 60% को आदमी को लेके मतलब मर जाते हैं उसमें, तो 40% ही क्यूरेबल होता है। तो उसी दिन बाद में मेरे को तुरंत मुझे यहाँ से 40 शिफ्ट किया गया। तो 40 में मुझे 15 दिन रखा गया। तो 15 दिन तक उसने मॉनिटर किया उन लोगों ने। फिर मेरा देखा एक दिन मेरा अचानक से मेरा बीपी डाउन होने लगा, तो मेरा डॉक्टर ने मेरा ऑपरेशन कर दिया, बट वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ। मेरा जो स्टोमा निकलने का था वो स्टोमा सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ। नेक्स्ट डे उसने वापस मेरा ऑपरेशन किया और मेरा स्टोमा लगा दिया। लेकिन उधर भी मेरा सबसे थोड़ा ठीक हो रहा था, लेकिन मुझे एक और नया वायरस है, वी वायरस करके, वो भी क्यूर करने का था। वो थोड़ी दिन होने के बाद मुझे कैंडिड आ गया मेरे स्टमक के अंदर, फिर वो क्यूरेबल का टाइम। और मेरा जो वूंड था वो वूंड बिल्कुल भी हल नहीं हो रहा था। उसको हर दिन मेरा डॉक्टर आके उसको क्लीन करता था। वो क्लीन होने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगा, करीबन 2 मंथ्स गया उसको क्लीन होने के लिए। और मैं जब 40 से मैं अक्टूबर में मैंने 31 अक्टूबर मैंने डिस्चार्ज लिया और नवंबर 1 को मैं घर पे आया। लेकिन मेरा एक टाइनी होल था जो फिस्टुला था, वहाँ पे अभी भी मेरा क्लोज नहीं हुआ था, उसमें से डिस्चार्ज हो रहा था। और मेरा क्रिएटिन लेवल तभी 5.6 पहुंच चुका था। और मेरे को बुखार बार बार आता था क्योंकि मुझे सेंट्रल लाइन डाल के रखी थी जहाँ से मुझे टीपीएन और आईवीज जा रहे थे।
Then flower remedy treatment was started because he was suggested to try other systems of healing.
पहला बात, सबसे पॉजिटिव पॉइंट मेरा क्या हुआ, विद इन 15 डेज मेरे दो मेजर चीज़ थे। एक तो फिस्टुला, जो टाइनी होल पिन जितना था वो क्लोज हो गया। सेकंड चीज़ थी, जो मेरा क्रिएटिन लेवल 5.6 पहुंच चुका था, जिसके लिए मुझे डॉक्टर वैभव केसकर कर गए 40s में, मैंने डायलिसिस के लिए बोला था, वो मेरा डायलिसिस रुक गया और मेरा क्रिएटिन लेवल धीरे धीरे करके डाउन होने लग गया। तो मेरे पहले इमीडिएट मेरे ये दो बेनिफिट हुए। उसके बाद बेनिफिट मैंने ये देखा कि जो मेरे को बुखार आ रहा था, जो सेंट्रल लाइन मेरे को अंदर डाल के रखी थी, वो उसका फ्रिक्वेंसी बहुत कम हो गया था। पहले मुझे एक दो दिन में बुखार आ जाता था और मुझे 2 घंटे तक शिवरिंग रहती थी। वो लेने के बाद मेरा इम्यून पावर भी बढ़ गया और मेरा जो बुखार आता था, लेकिन फ्रिक्वेंसी अभी 1-1.5 हफ्ते के बाद होने लगा और मुझे खुद का अंदर से मुझे स्ट्रॉन्ग फील होने लगा कि मुझे अच्छा लगने लगा। मेरे को लगा नहीं, ये अच्छी चीज़ है, अच्छी चीज़। आज आपके सामने बोल रहा हूँ, ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ फ्लावर रेमेडीज़ के कारण है। एलोपैथिक का भी है, ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ मेरे डॉक्टर्स ने नहीं मुझे हेल्प किया, दूसरे डॉक्टर्स ने भी हेल्प किया, लेकिन सबका कॉम्बिनेशन मिला कि आज मैं यहाँ पे खड़ा हूँ।
Generally, the feeling is that allopathy works faster and allopathy works for acute problems. I beg to differ with those people. The good number of Indian flower remedies which we have developed works for acute, and sometimes we see the results in 60 to 120 seconds. I'm talking. That means in 1 to 2 minutes you can see very positive, favorable results.
बोलती हूँ ना, मेरे बेटे को लेके सबसे ज़्यादा मतलब हमारे लाइफ में सबसे ज़्यादा टेंशन का टाइम वही था जब मेरे बेटे को स्वाइन फ्लू हुआ था। और तभी स्वाइन फ्लू का बहुत ज़्यादा टेंशन था, तो उसको लेके हम बहुत ज़्यादा टेंशन में आए थे। लेकिन जब निकले ना, सर ने बोला था तू अंधेरी जाके मुझे कॉल कर, तो अंधेरी से पहले ही मेरे बेटे को फीवर उतरने लगा।
मेरा बेटा जो भव्य था वो 2-2.5 महीने का ही था, तो उसको बहुत ज़्यादा उसको बहुत ज़्यादा डायरिया हो गया। उसकी वजह से, डायरिया की वजह से उसको इतना प्रॉब्लम हुआ कि he almost entered the stage of coma. You can say he just entered the stage. He had just reached the dose. तो मैंने डॉक्टर को वापस फ़ोन किया, डॉक्टर अतुल को, कि डॉक्टर अतुल मेरे बेटी को बहुत बोलते थे, ओके आई एम कमिंग। मैंने कहा मैं आइडिया आ जाओ मेडिसिन लेने, तो क्या नहीं मैं आ रहा हूँ। तो वो आए और उसने वो बेटे के नेवल पे मेडिसिन रखा, क्योंकि वो मुँह नहीं खोल रहा था, कुछ ही उसका कुछ उसके उसकी कुछ सेंसेस ही नहीं थे, तो वो मुँह नहीं खोल रहा था। उसने उसके नेवल पे वो मेडिसिन रखी और यू कैन से इट, आई वाज सो हैप्पी। 3 घंटे के बाद मेरा बेटा होश में आ गया, जस्ट होश में, और he started crying and he started roaming, and then after 5 to 6 hours मैं उसको ट्रॉली में लेके घूम रही थी हॉस्पिटल के बाहर उसको लेके। सो आई वाज सो हैप्पी एंड आई हैव अ वेरी गुड रिजल्ट्स विद डॉक्टर अतुल, वेरी गुड रिजल्ट्स विद द फ्लावर रेमेडी।
इमीडिएट इट वर्क, फर्स्ट डोज से इसका इफेक्ट आना शुरू हो जाता है। देखिए यूटीआई हुआ तो फ्लावर रेमेडी ने मेरे को हेल्प करी, मेरे को डायरिया हुआ तो फ्लावर रेमेडी ने हेल्प की, मेरे को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रहता है तो फ्लावर रेमेडी ने हेल्प की, बॉडी एक रहता है तो फ्लावर रेमेडी ने हेल्प की, साइकिक जितना भी स्ट्रेस, जैसे बिजनेस है मेरा, कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स का बिजनेस है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स आइटम का सारा का बिजनेस है, और फार्ला बहुत छोटा टाउन है लेकिन बहुत बड़ा मेरा बिजनेस है, ठीक है ना। तो स्ट्रेस भी रहता ही है, तो वो ट्रोमा शॉक भी लगते हैं, एक्सीडेंट्स भी हुए मेरे, एक्सीडेंट्स के अंदर रिकवरी जो है बड़ी फास्ट मिली है मेरे को, हीलिंग के अंदर बहुत फास्ट मिली है, प्रोस्टेटाइटिस के अंदर, यूरिन इन्फेक्शन के अंदर इमीडिएट रिलीफ मिलता है, 1 और 2 डेज के अंदर एंटीबायोटिक को काम करता है, 3 दिन लगेगा, इमीडिएट इफेक्ट है, सुबह लिया शाम को असर आना शुरू हो जाता है।
Flower remedies work from all kinds of cases, from small to big cases. Some of them can be also hard, difficult, or incurable cases. It can be as small as a problem of acne to maybe a severe autoimmune disorder. Stories of healing and transformation of such cases will bring about hope in the hearts of many.
मेरे को सबसे पहला टीबी हुआ था। हाँ, टीबी भी हम लोग को दोनों को हुआ था, लेकिन ये डॉक्टर साहब की दवा से हम लोग दोनों बिल्कुल ठीक हो गए हैं। उसके बाद और 1-2 साल के बाद फिर से हम लोग को हर्पीस हुई। हर्पीस से भी हम लोग डॉक्टर साहब की दवा से उसमें भी हम लोग दोनों जान निकाल के आ गए। उसके बाद इतना बड़ा कैंसर हुआ कि डॉक्टर खुद बोला कि बचेगी नहीं। वो हम लोग होली स्पिरिट हॉस्पिटल में गए, तो उधर का हॉस्पिटल में और डॉक्टर ने उधर का चेक किया, तो उसने बोला कि बहुत कैंसर बढ़ गई है, कि इसका बचना तो नामुमकिन है। इतना मेरे को अभी डॉक्टर बोला है नहीं बचेगी, तो अंदर से तो वो रहता है ना, लेकिन हम लोग को ये भी विश्वास था कि डॉक्टर साहब से हम लोग हमेशा हम लोग पहले से उससे दवा ले रहे थे। कैंसर से ही पहले से हम लोग उसे डॉक्टर साहब से दवा ले रहे थे। तो उससे भी एकदम थोड़ा 2-3 महीना हुआ होगा, तो हम लोग वही होली स्पिरिट हॉस्पिटल में गए। वही जिस डॉक्टर ने बोला था कि वो नहीं बचेगी, वही डॉक्टर ने चेक किया, बोलने लगा तू किधर बीमार है, तू तो बिल्कुल ठीक है, तेरे को तो कोई भी बीमारी नहीं है। वही डॉक्टर वो बोलने लगा। फिर हम लोग उधर से सीधा हम लोग डॉक्टर साहब के पास आ गए कि डॉक्टर बोल रहा है, होली स्पिरिट हॉस्पिटल का डॉक्टर बोल रहा है कि तेरे को कोई भी बीमार नहीं है, तू बिल्कुल ठीक है। वो बोलने लगा तो डॉक्टर साहब इतना खुश हो गया, क्योंकि हम लोग उसका ही दवा लेते हैं, वो टाइम पर भी उसका ही दवा ले रही थी।
I started this journey of using their medicines first on myself, because it was like a whole new software being installed. I'm in my mid-50s now, but I felt 20 years younger the second I took it. It was like balancing me so beautifully, and subtly I knew that I had hit something really powerful for the first time in years, because I was always seeking newer things to help my patients and people across the world, and this is amazing.
So the precinct from where I started to kind of explore flower remedies is primarily because there is always a cure in nature, and the simplest form would be in the power of flowers, for example, and everything else could be a repertoire, which could be a large one, but the easier one to understand is moving towards nature, which is flowers, the most delicate part of nature. And that's one reason why I started to explore that. And I have found them to be profoundly helpful for the state of mind, because we have pills and medications for physical aspect of it, or surgery for any aggravated condition. But when we look at the state of mind a person is in, and sometimes that can have a large impact throughout their lifetime, and they can be stuck in a particular state of mind for long periods of time. We don't have remedies for that, except for looking at directly intervening into the hormonal system of the body, or a neurotransmitter, for example. Those are not in sync with what the person really wants to reorganize themselves into. So that's where I think flower remedies play a very significant role.
I want to share my mother's incident. So mother was not feeling well. So March this year only, 2022. And my brother called me up. वो बोले मम्मी को अगर तुम आ सकती हो तो आके मम्मी को मिल लो, ये ना हो कि बहुत देर हो जाए। और जाके देखा, my mother was quite serious. मतलब ऐसे लेटे लेटे, बैठते नहीं थे, बात नहीं करते थे, ऐसे लेटे लेटे ना सीलिंग को देखते रहते थे बस। किसी से बात नहीं करते थे, बताते नहीं थे, शेयर नहीं करते थे, कम्प्लीटली बेड रिडन। तो मैंने भी गिव अप कर दिया, मेरे ब्रदर ने भी गिव अप. माय ब्रदर इज आल्सो ए रेडियोलॉजिस्ट डॉक्टर, ही इज रनिंग 2 हॉस्पिटल्स इन पंजाब. तो उसने भी गिव अप कर दिया, मैंने भी गिव अप कर दिया. डॉक्टर अतुल बोले छोड़ दो, आप मेरे ऊपर छोड़ दो, मुझे पता है इनको कैसे ट्रीट करना है. तो उन्होंने मम्मी के लिए मेडिसिन भेजी, तो मम्मी का मूड भी ठीक हो गया, मम्मी का वो डिप्रेशन भी चला गया. क्या प्रॉब्लम थी हमें नहीं पता. तो भूख भी लगने लगी, चलने फिरने भी टच वुड चलते फिरते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं. किचन में अपने लिए जो थोड़ा बहुत जैसे चाय या पानी गर्म करना है, हल थोड़ा बहुत काम कर लेते हैं वो भी. पता नहीं क्या मिरेकल किया है इन्होंने, बट मतलब हम भाई बहन को पीछे छोड़ दिया इन्होंने, डॉक्टर अतुल ने. थैंक्स टू हिम.
When we take the message or a thought from a flower, it's like the soul of the flower talking to the soul in me and installing a program. If a child is very fearful, we understand that this child needs courage program, confidence program, fearlessness, abhay, become nirbhay. So the swallow what? The flower that is offered to Hanumanji, that's the one that has the installation possible because it has the courage program.
And I have a son, Vivan, who's now 13. So he was facing a lot of issues in school. He was facing a lot of bullying issues. And, you know, even if it was not bullying, but if somebody was telling him something, he was unable to understand what the emotions and actually, you know, perceive it, how to deal with it. Like he was not being able to deal with it, and he was not even being able to understand what was happening. That was one very big issue. So we used to always find him like a bundle of nerves. And I am a very obsessed mother. So seeing him so anxious and nervous was making me very anxious and nervous. And I was also passing my anxiety to him. So I think वो double anxiety हो रहा था. And since the age of 3 months, he's got atopic eczema, dermatitis thing. So he used to get rash all over his skin, especially in the dry winter season. So these were the 2 main concerns. Third was fear of animals and small things like not being able to sleep alone. Handwriting was really bad. But I think my main agenda was to deal for getting him more emotional balance and to treat his eczema. So I remember, doctor, this one statement you had told me when I'd come to meet you, which he said that you're going to see him bloom like a flower, and which he actually did. Like a year later, the transformation we saw, like he actually bloomed, you know, he actually tried to be very mature and not mature, but he's still a child, but very, very nicely be able to process his emotions and how to deal with it.
Fortunately, nature has bestowed us with tremendous varieties of flowers. All colors, sizes, fragrance, different seasons, and different healing properties. Flowers help us to get healed from various kinds of mental, emotional, and physical issues. They are here for us to start our journey of healing with their help.
जो OCD का प्रॉब्लम है, जो डर लगता है कि मेरा कुछ छूट गया या फिर मिस हो गया या फिर जो मूड डिस्टर्बेंस रहते हैं, किसी चीज़ में मन नहीं लगता या फिर चिड़चिड़ाहट होती है. नींद में पहले बहुत ज़्यादा बड़बड़ करता था और कितनी भी नींद ले लूँ तो भी नींद पूरी हुई कि नहीं हुई ऐसा नहीं लगता था, फ्रेशनेस नहीं लगती थी. और इसकी वजह से मैं जल्दी पास नहीं हो पाया इंजीनियरिंग में.
इसके पापा गुजरने के बाद जब तक वो बहुत होशियार था, लेकिन गुजरने के बाद बहुत पढ़ाई में पीछे आ गया. यानी मेरी लड़की को भी कभी कभी कुछ कारण से एकदम एक बार ये सिलेंडर मारने के लिए गया था. यानी बात करते करते उसका गुस्सा इतना चढ़ जाता था कि वो कोई भी चीज़ उठा के मारने लगता था. और फिर क्या हुआ कि वो इतना बढ़ गया कि ये मुझे मारने लग, कोई कारण से मेरे आंख पर आता था, मारने के लिए जाता था। वो पहले कैसा करता था, वो डॉक्टर के पास आने के लिए भी बहुत गालियाँ देता था। तो लेके गई तो वहाँ से ट्रीटमेंट ली गाँव डॉक्टर की, लेकिन उससे इसको यानी टॉयलेट ही नहीं साफ होती थी। काउंसलिंग के लिए एक डॉक्टर के पास गए, वो डॉक्टर की भी काउंसलिंग की 2 बार, मैंने पुनः हिंगनघाट से पुनः भेजा, उससे भी फर्क नहीं गिरा। और ज़्यादा ऐसी बातें इसकी होती गई, यानी बहुत हंगामा करना, चिल्लाना, चीखना, किसी के ऊपर आपने मेरे तरफ ही देखा तो उसको मारने के लिए जाना है, मोहल्ले में सभी तरफ ऐसा ज़्यादा हो रहा था। फिर क्या हुआ, जैसे मैं तेजियान फाउंडेशन से हैप्पी थॉट से जुड़ी हूँ, और एक मॉर्निंग का वायरच मॉर्निंग करके एक स्वप्निल बावसी करके यहाँ की मुंबई के है, वो उसका सेशन में रोज अटेंड करती हूँ वायरस मॉर्निंग करके। तो उन्होंने रूपा शाह मैडम का सेशन लिया, तो फिर मैडम से हॉस्पिटल में हमने कांटेक्ट किया, फिर जूम ऐप पे हमने बातचीत हुई हमारा 1 घंटा। मैडम ने पूरा डिटेल लिया हमसे और रितेश से, फिर दवाई भेजी। तो वो पहले महीने से ही जो इसका प्रॉब्लम था, वो बहुत दवाई लेने के बाद सबसे पहले तो मैं हम जब उस नए घर में गए थे, भाड़े के घर में, तो मैं इसके पास सोने के लिए डरती थी, लेकिन मैं बोली अभी वहाँ पे हमको ऑप्शन नहीं था वो घर में, तो इसके पास मैं सोई। तो 4 दिन हुए थे इसकी दवाई शुरू हुई थी, तो ये इतना शांति से सो गया था। मैं रात भर देखती थी कि ये इतना शांति से कैसे सो रहा है। फिर देखा मैंने कम से कम 4 महीने इनके साथ सोई, तो जब से हमने रूपा मैडम की दवाई चालू की, तो इतना आराम होते गया, बहुत आराम होते गया। और जो उसकी चिड़चिड़ाहट थी, गुस्सा था, बहुत सारी चीज़ें, यानी बार बार देखना, या उसने मेरे तरफ देखा, वो मेरी तरफ हंसा, यानी मुझे इसके साथ बाजार जाने की भी डर लगता था, क्योंकि दुकानदार ने अगर इसके तरफ देखा तो उसके साथ झगड़ा करना, ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें थी। तो वो धीरे धीरे कम होती गए। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे पहले से जब अगर देखा जाए, तो इसका सबसे पहले का जो था रवैया, वो देखा जाए तो आज समझो ये 92% ठीक हो चुका है।
It works for animals also. They are our fellow companions. They help to maintain world ecosystem. Even they are part of us. They love flowers. They keep smelling it. I guess they understand flowers due to their own creative intelligence, which is within us also, but we have forgotten how to use this.
I am Shilpa Sharma, and I'm here to talk about the flower remedies and how it helped Bruno. Bruno is my pet dog. Bruno was my pet dog. There were some major tests done and all that, and they realized that it is a tumor that is developing inside. And then they did the biopsy and came to know that it is a cancerous tumor. After the biopsy report came, the doctor told me that this pain is equivalent to 1,000 needles pricking at a time. The vet was very blunt to me and told me that, I shouldn't expect any miracle, and I should either put him down to relieve him out of the pain, or he would just survive and be in that kind of a pain for 1 or 1.5 months, nothing more than that. I spoke to Dr. Shah over the phone, and he told me to bring Bruno here. He gave me an aura spray made out of the flower remedies. His ears starting oozing out with a black colored tar, and it would keep oozing out all the time. But I could see that we are overcoming something. And this, continued for a good 10 to 12 days. And after that, it stopped oozing out. It started becoming all right. The itching started reducing. His sleeping hours started increasing. His appetite came back, and some energy in his body came back. So all these were the symptoms, and it would be a surprise for you. This was on the 23rd of September that I came here, and after a month of this treatment, Dr. Shah told me to first go to the vet and then come here, So when we went to the vet, the vet shaved off his ear. He's checked the side and he did not find anything. So the vet told me, is it the same ear? It was in the left ear. So I said, you can check the other ear. And the vet checked the other ear. That was clean too. And so was this ear. And the vet was like, twice or thrice he checked this thing. And he said, I can't believe this. This is a miracle. The tumor is there. And he said, even after a chemotherapy or a radiation treatment, there remains a purple scar. Even the scar is not there in the ear. So this is the kind of, impact these flower remedies, this very simple looking, 2-3 drops of medicines had over this kind of a worst situation. So he almost got completely healed and it was a miracle. So we celebrated Bruno's birthday and thanks to Dr. Atul Shah, he got well.
I worked with different flower remedies, and I find that the Indian flower remedies are extremely beneficial, especially when I'm working with animals, and especially with the Himalaya remedies. I find that very easy and very practical solution when I'm treating animals in certain health issues, emotional or mental or physical issues for that matter. Because the fact that it is water-based, it is so easy to administer it to animals. They are not afraid to take it. So that's where their healing process already begins, as opposed to if I were to give them certain medication or like a herb, this is so much more easier and simpler to kind of work with. I've used it in a number of different cases, just on its own, as well as with other modalities also. So either way, it kind of really works very well. When using on its own, it actually works very beautifully because it allows you to get to the root cause of what you're working with in an animal, because that's where the healing can begin, right? So it's excellent when dogs have or cats have behavioral issues, or if they have certain emotional issues, which may manifest as behavior problems. So when you actually start using the flower remedies, it actually brings in an emotional and mental balance where you actually see a total improvement or complete reversal of the behavior issue that they're going through. As a result of that, you'll see that there's improvement even in their physical well-being, just because, for example, I was working with a dog who was extremely fearful. He refused to go out on walks. Like anytime he saw a car or anything, he would tuck his tail and just kind of get really scared and refuse to walk, just try to hide. So we used the flower remedies, and just within one round, that dog now normally started going out on walks, which was like a natural thing for him to do, right? So as he got rid of the fear, he started eating better, which was another issue that the pet parent had, like that his dog was not eating, but we just treated that, and one by one his problems started getting resolved as the flower remedies started working. It was so easy. We didn't have to do any punishment or reward-based training. It was just naturally altering his mental state, and everything got sorted out.
One of my stray dog, she developed a tumor this much big. It was this much big tumor, and I gave her the remedy with complete hopes that it's going to help her. What am I mentioning is that I had hopes the remedies will help her. But then to my surprise, what happened was that this was beyond my hopes also. The tumor from this much, it became this much in just like 8 days. I gave her in drops. It became this much. And then now sometimes I need to find where the tumor was.
Nature works on the principles of co-creativity, coexistence, and harmony, thus allowing all of us to not to just survive, but to thrive. When we take the flower remedy, it becomes a part of us. We not only get healed, but we become one. There is no separation. There's unity, and once we get united, we are healed and we are not dependent on flower remedy for our entire life. Every disease comes here for us to learn a lesson. And unless we learn the lesson, the disease does not go away. Whenever we take medicines only for treating symptoms of a disease, and we'll end up being dependent on it for an entire lifetime, we miss this learning process. The disease actually does not go away. It is only temporarily managed. And we may have to then continue learning in our onward journey in another lifetime. Therefore, flower remedies are respected because they are part of our learning and evolution in this lifetime. It's like installing a new program, and once the program is already installed, the transformation is complete and it's for life. It doesn't make you dependent. It's like you have become that. The very message of flower has become part of your own soul, your own learning.
The beauty of these flower remedies is nobody actually becomes dependent on them. We have the journey from wellness to illness. It's a person who walks from here to here. So all it's beautifully doing is just restoring balance once again back, so they don't have to be there on that journey anymore.
After I came to you, I don't even know how many years ago was that. It was
Maybe 10 years.
Was it 10 years? Yeah, and I got diagnosed with the lack of cartilage and being told that, your profession, at that point I was cutting hair, you won't be able to do that, and you just have to kind of give up your profession and look at other remedies. And working with that and, using, natural remedies and working on it, and I just started seeing the results very fast, actually. I still continued, I think, for 6 months, I think I was still doing it. But after that, you were like, okay, you're done, go. I was like, are you sure? You were like, yeah, I like you and all, but go. So I think it's been 8-9 years I've not touched any medication for my knees. The best part was when I first came to you, you were like, what is your goal? Like, what do you want to do? And I know at that point I was so sad because I was like, Rupa, I just want to climb a mountain. It was so simple. Like, all I want to do is climb a mountain. Actually, for the last 10 years, not only have I climbed many mountains, I also bought a house in the mountains.
Meet Keshav Kejriwal, 7 years old, resident of Malad, Mumbai. In 1998, he was declared asthmatic. When doctors decided to use nebulizers and steroids, his frightened mother was suggested about the energy healing therapy.
Keshav suffered from cough cold regularly since the age of 2. Antibiotics didn't work. He didn't recover. He was then declared asthmatic. Doctor said he would be given steroids and nebulizers. We were then told about Om Sanjeevani energy healing theory. After undergoing nature healing energy therapy, Keshav recovered, and since then, he has never had any problems of cough cold.
Ever since then, after you took remedies, did you develop the same problem in asthma?
No, never.
So it was healed for once and for all.
Yeah.
वन टाइम मेरे को जो था एकदम ये वो जो स्टोन का प्रॉब्लम आया था, तो वो हमने कंटिन्यूस किया. आई थिंक सो मैंने 6 महीना तक लिया होएगा. तो फिर बाद में मेरे को आज आई थिंक सो ये बात को 10 to 11 ईयर हो गए हैं. तो अभी तक मेरे को तो कोई अगेन सेकंड टाइम कोई प्रॉब्लम स्टोन का आया नहीं है.
Parth suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, which runs in his family. And apart from that, he even suffered from high cholesterol. He was given flower remedies, and within a short period of time, his blood test results showed that his RA factor and cholesterol numbers improved significantly as he started to get healed.
પછી ત્રણેક મહિના પછી મેં ફરી રિપોર્ટ કરાવ્યો. એ દરમિયાન મારું કોલેસ્ટ્રોલ લેવલ હતું એ 220ની અંદર આવી ગયું. HDL જે છે એ મારું 43 જેટલું થયું અને RA ફેક્ટર છે એ મારું 22 જેવું થઈ ગયું છે. ઓલમોસ્ટ નીલ જેવું થઈ ગયું છે. પણ 2 મહિનાની કોર્સ જે 2 મહિનાની દવાનો જે કોર્સ હોય છે એ પત્યા પછી જાણે જે મારી જૂની કમ્પ્લેનો હતી એમાંની 10-20% જેવી રહી હતી. પણ ત્રીજા મહિના અને ચોથા મહિના જેવું પૈતો મારો મેડિસિનનો એ પછી મને ખૂબ સારું લાગે છે અને અત્યારે એક પણ પ્રકારની બીજી કોઈ દવા ચાલતી નથી. સાથે સાથે હું 24 કલાક કામ કરું છું અને हार्डवर्किंग मारू काम है.
सबसे पहले मैंने फ्लावर रेमेडी स्टार्ट की थी मेरे बड़े बेटे के लिए. वो ज़्यादातर स्टैमर करता था बोलते वक्त, इसने बाद में उसका वर्ड निकला, तो उसके लिए मैंने उसको स्टार्ट किया था. एंड ही रिकवर्ड वेरी इजीली एंड विद इन 2 months ओनली उसकी रिकवरी हो गई. तो मैंने फिर वो डॉक्टर ने बोला कि बस हो गया तो अभी स्टॉप कर दो मेडिसिन.
मुझे दरअसल वर्टिगो हुआ था. गाड़ी चलाना, बाइक चलाने के लिए मुझे डॉक्टर ने ना बोला ना, तो उन्होंने दवाई दे के रखी थी कि कभी भी ये है तो ये दवाई ले लेने का और 5 दिन का कोर्स ले लेगा, लेकिन इसका कोई इलाज नहीं है वर्टिगो का. और सर की दवाई के बाद तो मुझे आज तक 2010 में मैंने दवाई चालू की, आज तक ऐसा कुछ वर्टिगो का मुझे एपिसोड भी नहीं आया आज तक. उनकी दवाई है और मैंने ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 6 month उनकी दवाई वर्टिगो के लिए ली थी.
Let me tell you about the holistic way of healing. We believe that we aren't separate from the whole universe. We are fully connected and we are never superior nor inferior. We are just a little part of it. We always treat the person with mind, body and emotion together along with the environment. So in holistic healing, we always look for cause. If you want to treat any disease, you must look for the cause, because our body is a transparent machine. Nothing happens just like that. Every disease has a reason. It was in the development. But our healthy body was healing it all the time. But one fine day, when you can't, the disease will manifest with all the symptoms. And finally, we have to pay attention. And it happens because there's a reason. Is that there's a mistake in the lifestyle? Maybe there's mistake in the food. Maybe there's something else. But one has to find out the exact cause.
डॉक्टर अतुल शाह और डॉक्टर रूपा शाह, उन्होंने इतने सालों की मेहनत से ये पूरा जो बनाया है उसमें 2 चीज़ों का महत्व है. एक द प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच फॉर द डिजीज़, रोग को कैसे देखते हैं, और फिर उसका ट्रीटमेंट. दोनों ही चीज़ें यूनिक है. काफ़ी केसेस में हमारा देखने का नज़रिया ही अलग होता है. जैसे माइग्रेन के लिए हम सिर्फ सिर में देखते हैं. अतुल सर और रूपा मैडम जो है वो काफ़ी उसको इमोशन के साथ रिलेट करके इमोशन को रिलीज़ करना होता है. तो ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो प्रैक्टिकल अप्रोच में बदल जाती है. तो उसकी वजह से अच्छे रिजल्ट मिलते हैं, लॉन्ग लास्टिंग रिजल्ट होते हैं.
सबसे अच्छी बात मुझे ये लगती है कि मेंटल सिम्टम्स तो हटते ही फिजिकल सिम्टम्स भी हट जाते हैं. जैसे कि किसी के बहुत जॉइंट्स दुख रहे हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं माइंड में रिजिडिटी रहती है, उन्हें किसी न किसी बात की एक गांठ जैसी बनी हुई रहती है. रिलेशनशिप को लेके हो या किसी से बातचीत में कोई आम हो गया हो, तो जब वो हट जाती है तो अपने आप ही जॉइंट्स पेन भी कम हो जाते हैं.
Flower remedies help a lot when there are negative emotions involved. If you harbor negative feelings within your system for a long time, you may fall ill. Many times, these negative emotions can be the root of a particular disease.
हाँ, मैं आई थी, मेरे
अस्थमा की तकलीफ के लिए। सी डॉक्टर इज सो स्मार्ट, उन्होंने देखा मुझे कि क्या है, तो वो मेरे माइंड को ट्रीट कर रहे थे, बिकॉज आई वॉज गेटिंग अस्थमेटिक अटैक बिकॉज ऑफ माई माइंड डिस्टर्बेंस। सो ही ट्रीटेड वेरी वेल। एक बार कहाँ पर रात को पार्टी में किसी ने मेरे लिए बैड कमेंट्स पास की, तो पूरी रात भर मेरा माइंड में वो घूमता ही रहा। और सुबह में मेरे को इतना कॉन्ट्रैक्शन लंग्स का हुआ कि आई हैव टू रन टू द हॉस्पिटल, पर डॉक्टर की दवाई लेने से अभी मुझे कुछ नहीं होता।
What was the problem, you know?
એને છે ને ઓલવેઝ લાઈક ખાંસી રહેતી, જેમ ક્લાઇમેટ વેધર ચેન્જ થાય ને એ મને તરત લંગ્સમાં કફ થઈ જતો અને ખાંસી થઈ જતી, અને ખાંસી એટલે એકદમ જોરદાર ખાંસી થાય, રાતના કન્ટિન્યુઅસ ખાંસે અને ઉલટી ખાવ. પણ હવે એને ઘણો ફરક થઈ ગયો છે. ક્યારેક અગર હવે બહારનું ખાઈ બી લે ને તો પણ એને કંઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ નથી થતો કે એને ખાંસી આવે છે કે લાઈક મને કંઈ વધારે એની પાછળ જોવું નથી પડતું એમ. જસ્ટ દિવસમાં એક વખત હવે તો એ બી દવા લઉં છું. ઘણો જ ફરક છે. ઇવન એમના નેચરમાં બી ઘણો ફરક આવી ગયો છે. તમે કહી શકો કે લાઈક આમ ઓલીને બધી વાતો કરી શકે છે મને એમ. પહેલાં એને કહેતા બહુ અચકાતું હતું, મમ્મા તમને એક વાત કહું, અને હવે તો મમ્મા આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ ડુ ધીસ, આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ ડુ દેટ, અને હું આમ કરું છું એવી રીતે કરીને. ઘણો ફરક છે.
तो मुझे डिप्रेशन भी आ गया था. मुझे ये 10 साल में 2-3 बार डिप्रेशन के सीवियर अटैक आए, पर उसमें से मुझे डॉक्टर अतुल शाह ने बाहर निकाला है. उनकी मेडिसिन से मुझे बहुत बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है, पर उसमें उनकी मेडिसिन की वजह से मेरे ब्लड रिपोर्ट एकदम, एलोपैथिक डॉक्टर भी शॉक, उनको भी शौक लगता है कि तुमको इतना ये माउथ अल्सर है क्या भी है, वो तुम्हारे ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स एकदम नॉर्मल आते हैं. HbA1c के CBC-SR कोलेस्ट्रॉल भी अभी तक मेरा लेवल है ज़्यादा, पर वही मेंटेन रहा है उनके मेडिसिन की वजह से.
मुझे एक्चुअली कोलेस्ट्रॉल की प्रॉब्लम थी पिछले 1.5-2 साल से. मेरी उस समय 2006 से मैं कोलेस्ट्रॉल की मेडिसिन ले रहा था, जबकि एक समय पे मेरा कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल 389 रहा करता था, और 1.5 साल से मैं दवाइयाँ ले ही रहा था. डॉक्टर सर ने बताया कि आपके जो भी डॉक्टर आप बता दो कि आपको क्या बीमारी है, कुछ नहीं है. जबकि मैं कह रहा था कि आप 20-25 हज़ार जब तक खर्चा नहीं करोगे तब तक आप ठीक नहीं होगे. अभी आप ठीक हो गए. हालांकि मुझे ये महसूस तब हुआ कि तब तक मैं फ्लावर रेमेडीज़ की 2 दिन तक मैं वो दवा ले चुका था, और तीसरे दिन मैं हैप्पी था, अंदर से एक अच्छी तरह फील कर रहा था. ये चीज़ मुझे समझ में आई 6-8 हफ्तों के बाद में, कि मैंने टेस्ट तो करवा लिया, लेकिन ये 2 दिन में बिना कोई दवा लिए एलोपैथी की मैं अपने आप को हल्का कैसे महसूस कर रहा था. तो वो एक्चुअल श्रेय जाता है फ्लावर रेमेडीज़ को.
One must consider taking flower remedies before and after surgery, because we have observed that it helps the healing to happen very fast, even the bleeding reduces, and the recovery is very smooth.
I had interception when I was about 4 or 5 years old. So tabhi Dr. Uncle, he had given me some drops a couple of hours before my operation, and those drops just fully healed my issue. Like honestly, if they would have done an X-ray on me after I had taken those drops, then not an X-ray, like an MRI or whatever, they wouldn't have to operate me only, because those drops like fully like cured me. So that operation wasn't required, because the drops just like healed me. Yeah, like practically, like I had to still get operated, because obviously the doctors and nurses, you know, they wouldn't obviously trust someone else what they're saying. They also have their own practice. So they still operated me, but when they did operate me, everything was completely fine. Like everything was completely cleared. They didn't really have to do anything. So they just operated me, checked everything was okay, and stitched me out. Like it affects you not just physically. Like if you're physically sick, it'll not only affect your physical health, but even like mentally and emotionally. Like mental health and physical health is obviously combined. You can't be physically healthy if you're not mentally healthy. So with this medicine, like makes you feel mentally good as well. Like
a positive mindset and you feel positive in general, like about your body, about your health, about where you're at. Overall, it just affects you in like a whole, not just a part of your body. It affects you as a whole.
A regular doctor is actually just putting a band-aid on the situation. And if you look at every illness, it has started off long ago from either an event or an emotion, or so many things have cascaded into what we see as a physical condition. So holistic doctors looking at a person as a whole, not just the physical, say a tumor or whatever they see, but the entire mental, emotional, spiritual, all the imbalances, and how can we put all of this and bring this person back into their being the best versions of themselves, the most balanced version.
The best way of holistic living is where you do not need a doctor, because each of us have this inner doctor that is always 24/7 working and healing us. That is the same creative intelligence that is in the macrocosm, in the universe, sustaining it, repairing it, is ever alive. And the same creative intelligence is going to heal us and keep us alive and live our life with the perfect purpose and harmony and optimism. In holistic healing, you build good immunity, which protects you and adds other benefits.
He was 1.5 years old, 1.5 साल का था, and continuously इसको coughing and vomiting, cough vomiting. इसके pediatrician के पास आए. Before that, इसके pediatrician के पास 6 months इसका मेरा on and off 6 months treatment chala hai. All the cough syrups, antibiotics and medicines, everything. And there was no improvement. After 2 weeks, iska वापस से वही शुरू हो जाता है. And he was getting very weak. And ज़िद्दी, ये चीज़ें थे, behavioral patterns थे इसके. जो मेरे concerns थे, generally pediatrician को हम, they don't take these things in notice. Generally वो खाली बीमारी देखते हैं, दवाई दे दी, खांसी, बुखार, ये वो.
For the holistic healing, it is important to find the root cause and then treat them from it. You can know it by their behavior patterns. Flower remedies will fix the root of it, so the patient becomes free from the issue.
तो she diagnosed things जो मेरे को नहीं पता थी कि इसमें है प्रॉब्लम, वो सब चीज़ें. एंड धीरे हमने इन सब चीज़ों पे वर्क करना शुरू किया. एंड उन्होंने बिहेवियरल पैटर्न्स, बहुत रेस्टलेस रहता था ये, उन सब चीज़ों पे फोकस किया. टुडे आई केम टू रूपा मैम बिकॉज हैंड, फुट एंड माउथ डिजीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा फैला हुआ है. तो जनरली जब बच्चों को होता है तो फीवर से स्टार्ट होता है एंड बॉडी पे ब्लिस्टर्स हो जाते हैं एंड इट इज़ वेरी अनकम्फर्टेबल फॉर चाइल्ड. वो खा नहीं पी पाते हैं या बुखार, खांसी है. दिस इज़ हिज 5th डे एंड ही डिडंट गेट अस, मतलब मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि इसको हैंड, फुट एंड माउथ है, क्योंकि इसको फीवर नहीं हुआ, इसको ब्लिस्टर्स मुंह में नहीं हुए, ही इज़ ईटिंग नॉर्मली. मैम ने मुझे बताया कि हमने इसकी जो 2 साल इसकी इम्यूनिटी बिल्ड करी है, उसकी वजह से इसको ये वायरस इतना इफेक्ट नहीं किया. टच एंड गो है, ही विल बी फाइन इन 1 or 2 days, जो कि बाकी बच्चों को 10 दिन 15 दिन लग रहे हैं उसको रिकवर करने में. He will be fine in 5 days. And he didn't had a single allopathy medicine, वो कड़वी दवाइयाँ, syrups, मैंने इसको दिए ही नहीं.
Flower remedies are very easy to take as a remedy. Listen to what others got to say.
सबको लगेगा ये एक पिल खाने से क्या होगा, पर वो एक पिल कितना जादू कर देती है.
I just remember one thing, like the medicines which we were taking, like it was not a medicine, it was like eating a chocolate. So I remember that they were like very sweet and they were nothing, like never felt like they were medicines.
It was very difficult to make him proper allopathic tablet, even if it was a small one, whatever damn thing you insert it into it, he would somehow come to know. I cannot administer any tonic on him. It was only a pill. Even if I thrust it down in his throat, he would somehow vomit it out. But these flower remedies are so simple to use. It is just 2 drops. Even if he's sleeping, not opening his mouth, you can give it on an empty stomach, or in whatever ways you can give it. Just 2 drops. Just 2 drops. It is so simple to use.
And other actually flower remedies, it is, by the way, the pills are so, tasty basically. And you feel like, taking it again and again. Like my favorite time of the day is that to take the pills because it's very sweet. And you sometimes feel like, overtaking it. But even if you overtake, there's no fear because it has no side effects. It does no harm at all. It does no harm.
I think that's beautifully said. When Hippocrates said, first, do not harm, I think our consciousness has to rise more and more. We have to become lighter and lighter karmically, how we live, what we do. Whether it is what we eat, or what we wear, or what the medicines, what we take. So the beauty of this is, even the flower is not being hurt. Forget plucking a leaf or a root or anything here, nothing is being hurt. So when that is the consciousness and purity with which it comes, of course that's what it's going to do for your prana as well. Because nobody's being hurt, no animal is being tested, no plant is being, because they all have feelings, every single sentient being on this universe, without a doubt.
Apart from this, while we were also making our own Indian flower remedies, we came across a research paper which was mentioning about Pushpa Ayurveda. Now, Pushpa means flower and Ayurveda means the science of life. So, Ayurveda was already using flowers in various ways. So, there is a story. In the earlier time, Ayurveda was using not only herbs but sometimes some animal parts or discharges from the animal's body to make remedies. Now, those who were practicing Jainism and were following the path of Ahimsa, or also in Buddhism, following the path of Ahimsa, they did not like using any animal parts. So, they were looking for a system of healing which is fully plant-based. So the Jain Acharyas started looking at flowers. They were the first one to research the healing power of flowers. And they wrote a volume where about 18,000 flowers are used now for healing. So even our ancestors knew very well how to use flower remedies. They were following principles of non-violence or ahimsa. They were fully plant-based. They were looking for medicine which was following the first principle that Hippocrates said, first do not harm. And so they were the masters who were using the Pushpa Ayurveda. There is a book named as Kalyan Karakam, written by Acharya Ugraditya, which mentions Pushpa Ayurveda and is describing 18,000 different flowers used as remedies. Now that book is not to be found anywhere. We tried looking for it in various libraries across the globe. Since it is not found, we have to start our journey all over again. At the moment, about 2,000 flowers are listed in Encyclopedia of Flower Remedies, which is contributed by researchers from all over the world. And here now, we are all over building up this knowledge. If you can find this book which describes 18,000 flowers, it will be a very big discovery for the mankind. flowers are used to not only treat human beings, but also all animals on this planet, also agriculture, environment, water, and everything. So it will be a big gift to the world to rediscover this book. Because the book is not to be found, we need to relearn flowers all over again. Let's learn about how flowers were used in the past for treating. In ancient times, our temples were open and flowers were integral part of any puja. So there used to be a copper vessel with water in it, and the flower petals were floated on the surface of the water. And there were ceremonies, puja, chanting, and mantras were going on. At the end of this ceremony, this water was given to all people who attended the puja. They would just drink few drops of this water and touch their forehead and top of their head with this water. And this water truly is the first ever flower remedy that we know is used for the healing purpose. In the modern times, Mother Meera from the Aurobindo Ashram, Pondicherry, meditated on more than 800 flowers in India, and she wrote a book that is called as The Spiritual Significance of the Flowers. She gave spiritual names to each of these flowers as she learnt about their healing quality. Names given to flowers in Sanskrit language or over local Indian languages also are telling us about the healing power of flowers in a particular way. For example, Ashok. Ashok means without grief. And anyone who has gone through a lot of sadness in life, Ashok flower is calling. Come, come to me, I will heal you. I will make you joyful again. Same way, lotus is called as Kamal. Kamal means pure. Anyone who wants to go through cleansing process and become just pure, as like lotus, lotus flower is calling, saying, come and embrace me. I will clean you. I will make you as pure as me. Flowers are offered to various deities. You will always see Goddess Lakshmi sitting on a lotus flower which is pink color. And you will see Goddess Saraswati, she has white lotus flower associated. If you have a marigold flower, it is offered to Lord Ganesh. And if it's Dhatura, it's offered to God Shiva. So different flowers have different deities. They exchange the energy and they are belonging to a particular Dev. From the navel of Vishnu, lotus flower took birth. It is the first flower that came into existence on this planet. It is of great significance. It is also our national flower. Flowers are also used in Western countries in so many different ways. At the time of birth, wedding ceremony, also at the time of death. Certain flowers are used for certain occasions. Certain flower signify certain quality. In Buddhism, Buddha is thought to have appeared on earth on the top of a lotus flower, and his footsteps left lotus flower wherever he left. People in the past did a lot of this with complete understanding, and now we can take advantage of this wisdom. What is real cannot be hidden. And that is why flower remedies have been rediscovered now to help us heal completely. So, in England in 1930s, there was a doctor. His name Dr. Edward Bach. He's also pronounced as Dr. Edward Bach. So he was practicing in Harley Street in London, and in the last 6 years of his life, he was staying in the countryside, and that time he discovered flower remedies. He was a very sensitive man. He used to wander into the various gardens where the flowers are growing. Whenever he suffered from a mental or emotional state, he would take the petal of the flower over his tongue, and then after a few minutes he would observe his mind, whether that mental or emotional state got better or not. And this is how he started classifying various flowers for various mental and emotional effects. To get answer to some of our questions, we traveled to Rajkot to show the science behind flower Shakti.
अभी हमने बेस लाइन ले ली उनके, अभी हम ओरा स्प्रे नाम का एक सॉल्यूशन है, वो उस पर 7 चक्र होते हैं हमारे बॉडी में, तो फ्रंट और बैक दोनों में हम ये विस्प करेंगे एक एक बार, और दोनों पाम में एक एक बार विस्प करेंगे.
अभी हमने ये जो सब्जी का हमने पहले बेसलाइन में कैप्चर लिया है कि जो जिसमें ओरा स्प्रे हमने नहीं लगाया, तो उसका ये जो रिज़ल्ट है वो हम देख सकते हैं. ओके, ये जो पूरा सिस्टम का एनर्जी है वो 10 फिंगर का कैप्चर वो एक साथ कंपाइल करके वो तो पूरा बॉडी का एनर्जी फ्लो बताएगा. उसमें फ़िल्टर और विदाउट फ़िल्टर दोनों होगा. उसके बाद हमने ये जो स्प्रे लगाया, उसके बाद 15 मिनट में स्प्रे की इफेक्ट क्या है वो हम विजुअलाइज इसके साथ कंपैरिजन में देखेंगे. यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं ये पूरा बॉडी का दिखाया हुआ है, और दोनों हेड की ये जो रिंग पॉइंट फिंगर है वो, और उसके हिसाब से एवरी ऑर्गन वॉज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. मीन्स ये जो पूरा बॉडी है वो दरेक फिंगर के साथ कोरिलेटेड है, और एवरी फिंगर हैज़ 10 सिस्टम ऑफ आवर बॉडी. और ये जो है वो फिल्टर के साथ में है. फ़िल्टर के साथ बॉडी क्या है और फिल्टर विदाउट फ़िल्टर के साथ बॉडी क्या, उसका दोनों का साथ में कंपैरिजन करके हम पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गन का देखते हैं कि किसमें कौन सी इफेक्ट है. अभी हम आफ्टर द 15 मिनट ये जो ओरा स्प्रे हमने लगाया है उस 7 चक्रों पे, उसकी पोस्ट इफेक्ट हम देख रहे हैं. पहले हमने जो बेसलाइन लिया था विदाउट स्प्रे वो ले लिया, उसके बाद ये अभी उसका टेस्ट चल रहा है 15 मिनट के बाद, वो देखेंगे.
So here we can see that this machine is measuring the difference in the energy field before and after using the flower remedy aura sprays.
अभी उसका दोनों कैप्चर कंप्लीट हो गया है, तो अभी हम उसका कंपैरिजन दोनों का देखते हैं ओरा स्प्रे का. चल अभी यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं ये दोनों के वो बिफोर दी स्प्रे कैप्चर है और ये आफ्टर दिस कैप्चर है. अभी हमने अभी जैसे देखा कि उसको आफ्टर स्प्रे 15 मिनट के बाद थोड़ा हेडेक रह था, तो उसकी इफेक्ट हम यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं कि जो सिमेट्री है वो डिक्रीज हो गई है 59% तक. बट जो फिजियोलॉजिकली जो फिल्टर के साथ हमने लिया है तो 93% और 94% वो सेम है. उसका जो साइकोलॉजिकल कंडीशन है वो, बट फिजियोलॉजी के हम चेंज देख सकते हैं. उसकी जो सिमेट्रिक एनर्जी है वो थोड़ी डिस्टर्ब हुई है स्प्रे के हिसाब से, वो हम यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन में देख सकते हैं.
The instruments used at the lab are showing a clear difference of the energy field before and after using the various flower remedy aura sprays. water has memory and water remembers what it comes in contact with. Water changes its structure, and accordingly we can know which particular flower that it has come in contact with. This is a very unique ability of water to remember and retain what it came in contact with. We can find out that water has memory from two different methods. One is water crystallization. This research was done by a Japanese scientist, Masaru Emoto, who took beautiful pictures of water crystals, and he showed that different waters have different crystallization pattern according to what information it is storing. And the second research was done in Germany, and there they take picture of various water droplets, and the pattern that is visualized in that particular drop is exactly the same as what flower remedy was in that particular water. So you can identify different flower remedies in different waters exactly as per the pattern that is observed. Flower remedies work very beautifully in various agricultural issues. You can see if you want to have higher yield, or if you want to prevent infection, or if there is already some infection, we can treat it also. Or there's some problem with some toxicity, we can even help there. So flower remedies have very, very vast use in this field as well.
देखो ये छोड़ के आयुष्य जो है वो खत्म होने वाली थी, लेकिन ये फर्टिलाइजर डालने के बाद नए से फ्लावर आ गए। देखो देखो पत्ते देखो उसके, इसके पत्ते देखो, अभी लगाया है ऐसा ही लग रहा है। ये पेड़ के जो बैंगन है जो हम लगाते हैं उसकी युवावस्था होती है ऐसा अब हो गया, लेकिन ये जो सब बैंगन के जो प्लांट थे वो साथ में ही लगाए थे जून जुलाई में, अभी तो वो ख़त्म होने वाला था, लेकिन आप देख सकते हैं उसकी पत्ते की साइज पूरा हर भरा है और अभी फ्रूट भी लग रहे हैं नए नए, आप देख सकते हैं फिर से शुरू हो गए। ये सब आप देख सकते हैं, ये सब फ्लावरिंग है, वहाँ पे सब जगह पे बैगन लगेंगे, यहाँ पे सब देखो इतने।
ये जो पूरी लाइन है ना वो भी ख़त्म होने वाली थी, एक्चुअली उसका आयुष्य पूरा होने वाला था, लेकिन फर्टिलाइजर डालने के बाद वापस से फ्लावर भी आ गए और बैंगन भी आ गए, तो तीनों।
ये सिगरू है, सहजन है, जो आजकल बहुत ही प्रचार में है। उसके फ्लावरिंग देखो आप, इसमें डाला है, उसमें हमने स्प्रे किया था, इसमें नहीं किया है, आप देख लीजिए, फ्लावर भी नहीं है क्या, अभी उसमें इतना फ्लावर नहीं है, वो सीजन का पौधा था उसमें ज़्यादा था। हाँ, ये जो फ्लावर से वो उसकी जैसे मुरे हुए हैं, ताजे नहीं है। जो सामने दिख रहे हैं वो फ्लावर्स जो दिख रहे हैं ना, वो एक बार हम चूट लेते हैं, फिर 7 डेज के बाद आते हैं, लेकिन ये 2 दिन में वापस आ गए, उसमें स्प्रे किया हुआ है, ये 2 दिन में फ्लावर आ गए। सर ने जो लिक्विड फर्टिलाइजर दिया था उसका इस्तेमाल हमने वो डेजी में किया था। डेजी पहले क्या थी तो 7-8 दिन एक बार हम उसका जो फूल चुन लेते थे, तो 7-8 दिन के बाद हम उसको फूल तोड़ते थे, लेकिन जब हमने 70 में उसका जो लिक्विड फॉर्म का स्प्रे किया, उसके बाद ये 70 अभी आप देख रहे हैं 2 दिन हुए हैं और अभी सब जगह पे फ्लावरिंग लग गए और कल भी उसको फूल तोड़ना भी पड़ेगा। तो वो 7-8 दिन में जो फ्लावरिंग आते थे वो कम समय में ज़्यादा आते और उसकी जो क्वालिटी है वो भी अच्छी है और जो ग्रोथ है सब हम बोलते हैं ना कि जो पौधे को सब माइक्रोन्यूट्रिएंट्स चाहिए वो उसमें से मिल जाता है। वहाँ पे भी आपने देखा सहजन का पौधा, बैगन का, सब में अच्छा रिजल्ट मिला है।
Apart from using flower remedies for humans, agriculture, and animals, they can also be used for various environmental purposes, like purification of water itself or purifying air. Energy of the place also can be purified. So many different uses. Now, let's hear some more human stories. Water contains the very powerful healing energy of the flower. We call it as flower Shakti. And here, this flower Shakti works faster than the speed of light.
So I actually have something called as sinusitis, which gives me cold due to allergy. It could be because of dust. I might have eaten something wrong or something, and then I wake up in the morning with extreme wet cold where I'm sneezing throughout the day. So that's the issue that I had, which I had consulted doctor for. In fact, after I started taking flower remedy, my sedzines, which almost were about, you can say 8 to 10 sedzines a month, came down to maybe 2 sedzines a month. Overall, the amount of times I was falling sick reduced a lot. It helped increase my immune system, so we worked heavily on that. And we were also working heavily on the way my digestive system was working. So lesser foods were affecting me. That is how it helped. So within a week itself, it started reducing. But I think over 3 months of doing it, it substantially reduced.
And then I had a friend and I said, let me try this with my friend. So she had a migraine issue and I started by giving her the migraine flower essence. And in the very first week, she got back to me and said that she felt better. And the episodes of migraine which were recurrent in the week, they started decreasing. And as of now, she tells me there has been no more migraine episodes. Ma'am had said that 21 days minimum the essence should be taken. So yes, I know it's about 3 months and it seems to have helped her a lot and she's happy with the results.
Yes, I did try flower remedies for the urine infection and it worked a lot. Within a week when I redid the test, it had gone tremendously down. So I did not take any allopathic medicines. It was only Dr. Shah.
What was the pus cells like in the urine?
When it was detected, it was 200 plus. And then it drastically went down to normal level.
So I had 2 specific instances. The first one was an 8-year-old dog who was detected with cancer. And my second instance was with a cat. He was about 10 years old and he had acute gingivitis, which sort of went on to become a form of oral cancer. And those are the 2 cases that I actually tried flower remedies with. Well, Dr. Shah has been a friend for many years and I know she's been doing a lot of interesting stuff. I've been talking to her about all of it. In the case of the dog, right? At that point in time, he was in such an advanced stage. All we wanted him to go through was the last few days without suffering. There should be no pain, there should be no unnecessary suffering. And there we saw him get into a real good state of calmness. There was a soothing calmness, he was more relaxed. He was able to focus on, deep breathing and relax a lot. And I think that was very, very essential because the least we can do for anybody suffering is to reduce pain. And it helped a lot. In the case of Ranga, my cat, he couldn't eat because it was very, very severe infection and severe injury to the mouth. In about 3 days, he actually started eating. And that's a big blessing when you're treating a sick animal. Anytime that an animal starts eating, it not only means he's recovering, it also means that he's fighting back with confidence. And I think that gave him a lot of confidence to come back. And after that, he went on for a long time and he could eat on his own without having to be force fed.
रात भर मेरे को यूरिनेशन के लिए जाना पड़ता था, रात भर। कभी कभी 15 मिनट की गैप पे भी मैं जाता था, तो उस वजह से पूरी रात मैं सो नहीं पाता था। रेस्ट रूम जाके आओ, सो जाऊँ, 15 मिनट नहीं हो, आधा घंटा नहीं हो, फिर भागो। बहुत तकलीफ़ थी। ऐसा 1-1.5 महीने तक हुआ। मेरा खुद का दोस्त है बचपन का, कॉलेज फ्रेंड, वो यूरोलॉजिस्ट है, उसके पास गया। उसने मेरी बॉडी की सब पूरी चेकअप करवाई, ब्लैडर की वगैरह वगैरह, जितनी भी टेस्ट होती है यूरोलॉजिस्ट के एंगल से, उसने सब कराई, दवाइयाँ भी दी, लेकिन कुछ भी असर नहीं हुआ। उसके बाद भी मैं परेशान था, मैं करूँ क्या। तब ये स्टोरी चालू हो गई कि मैंने डॉक्टर रूपा शाह को ढूंढ के लिया, उनके पास गया, उनको अपनी बात बताई, एंड रेस्ट द स्टोरी। मदद नहीं किया, जादू किया। पहले ही दिन जब मैं डॉक्टर रूपा शाह को दोपहर को मिला, उन्होंने मुझे दवाइयाँ दी। मैं समझता हूँ पहला डोज में उस रात को मैं सिर्फ 4 बार गया, और मैं 4-6 घंटे सोया भी। 4 बार गया, लेकिन 4-6 घंटे सोया। उसके बाद महीने तक एक डॉक्टर दवा लेते रहा, महीने में फिनिश, आई वॉज ऑल राइट। तो डॉक्टर ने सजेस्ट किया 2 महीना और ले लो दवा, ताकि उसको अपन पैक कर सकें कि रिअकर नहीं हो। वो बात को भी आज 2-2.5 साल हो गए, कोई इशू नहीं।
इट डिपेंड्स पर्सन टू पर्सन। अभी किसी को बहुत एंजाइटी हो रही थी तो उसको दवा दी तो उसको विदिन वीक फ़र्क पड़ गया। किसी को बहुत लंबे समय से कोई फियर चला आ रहा है तो उसको महीना 2 महीना भी लेनी पड़ सकती।
The effects are seen sometimes as soon as within first minute of taking the dose of flower remedy. Some people feel it even in 24 hours. Some maybe in a week, or some maybe in few weeks. And slowly, gradually and firmly, a very deep transformation happens in each individual, going more and more towards mental and emotional well-being, and also physically improving their conditions.
They were not minor, they were major. I think the very first was tuberculosis. It was bad. It was very, very fast, the result was, which in allopathy also, they take a longer period, I believe, I think 9 months or something. But this was very fast. So if people say this doesn't work fast, I would say no. It really works magic. And always for anything, small, big, whatever we have, we immediately know where to go. So it has always been like a miraculous healing. You don't have to think and doubt कि ठीक होगा कि नहीं होगा. हाँ, बस डॉक्टर के पास जाना है, नहीं भी आ सकते हैं तो फ़ोन कर दिया. Phone, and then the medicine is there, and you know, it's just that way.
The name of our clinic is Healing Temple. Many years ago, I was just sitting one day morning at the breakfast table, and this word came to me. I think our clinic should be called Healing Temple. So I called the designer and a lawyer and asked, can I name this? So then they gave us the name Heal in Temple. And it's not G, Heal in Temple. And that's when I got the logo made, and then we started our clinic. So this was from the concept that in the earlier time when people were sick, they used to go to a particular temple, stay there a few days, and in the presence of the healers, and sometimes even in the subtle region there are angels and fairies and devas who also participate in the process of healing an individual, and then they would come home fully healed. So I thought even the clinic that we run is pretty much like Healing Temple. Often patients come here, they sit and they're waiting for their turn to come, and they already feel better. They start breathing better. They just tell me there's something calm about this clinic. It's so peaceful, it's quiet. It's such an unusual place because the entire clinic has that energy. It has that feel that's created.
लेकिन आपके इसमें एक मुझे बात, जैसे गेट में एंट्रेंस किया तो उसी से मुझे इतनी शांति, एक एक अलग तरह की अनुभूति लग रही है, एक बहुत पीसफुल और एक बहुत एक पॉजिटिव एनर्जी। ऐसा सच्ची में हीलिंग टेम्पल जो आपने जो हॉस्पिटल का नाम दिया है ना, तो सच्ची में यहाँ पे आने के बाद जैसे सभी लोग हील हो जाते हैं, उसके अंदर की जो निगेटिव एनर्जी है वो पूरी चली जाती है और एक पॉजिटिव एनर्जी भर जाती है और एक असीम शांति का एक अनुभव यहाँ पे हो रहा है।
यहाँ पे सब अलग ही है, मतलब जो बाहर नहीं होता है वो सब इधर है और इंटरेस्ट आता है काम करने के। सब फ्लावर्स रेमेडी होते हैं, सब सीखने के लिए भी मिलता है।
अच्छा, मुझे ऐसा लगा नहीं मैं यहाँ पे काम कर रही हूँ, मतलब मैं यहाँ पे इतने उनकी बेटी जैसे ही रह रही हूँ, अपना घर समझ के 17 सालों से।
हम लोग जब भी देखते हैं, जब भी पेशेंट आते हैं तभी उनका मूड इतना अच्छा नहीं रहता है, लेकिन जब भी उनको डॉक्टर ट्रीट करते हैं उसके बाद उनका मूड बहुत फ्रेश और हैप्पीली उन लोग यहाँ से चली जाते।
मैं भरोसा करती हूँ क्योंकि मुझे उसका रिजल्ट मिला है ना, विश्वास हो गया। अभी मेरे बच्चे को बोला कि देखो मैं कभी हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट हो गई, पर आप डॉक्टर अतुल शाह को हॉस्पिटल में बुलाना, वो जो बोलेगा वो मैं दवाई खाऊंगी।
क्योंकि मैं एट द एज 78 मैं पहले भी ठीक था, मुझे इतना ठीक तो नहीं था, पर इनके टच में आने के बाद मैं थोड़ी एक्टिवनेस मेरी ठीक अच्छी है। क्योंकि इनकी सबसे बड़ी इच्छा होती है कि मेरा पेशेंट अभी कभी ठीक हो जाए, तो मेरे तो काफ़ी आराम है। मैं क्या, मेरी वाइफ, मेरी बहू, मेरे बच्चे सब दवाई ले जाते हैं इनसे।
I am a believer that if you throw challenge at doctor like Dr. Atul Shah, he will find the remedies.
और मैं तो कभी नहीं भूल पाऊंगी मैडम को, सच्ची में मैं बहुत ही कृतज्ञ हूँ मैडम आपकी तरफ से। यानी मेरा जो है ना, मेरा बेटा आपने अच्छा कर दिया ना, ये बहुत पैसे की बात नहीं है उनको लगता है, लेकिन मेरे लिए पैसे से ज़्यादा वो था, क्योंकि आज उसके पापा नहीं है, उसके भरोसे मैं हूँ।
Even if the remedies are taken mistakenly by the person of any age groups, it has no side effects. Nature has many answers to learn from life. How nature heals us, communicates with us, taking clue from nature, what and how it can heal.
For the side effects of medicines, so for every Western trained doctor, let me tell you, there is no ingredient here, so you are not going to have any side effect for sure. That is guaranteed. And also nobody else is hurt in this process of treating.
Whenever I recommend to people, I say, look, it's very safe. There's no overdosage in it. If it doesn't help you, it will not harm you. So it's very safe.
फ्लावर्स का नेचर का, मदर नेचर का कोई साइड इफेक्ट हो ही नहीं सकता। ठीक है, मदर सिर्फ देना जानती है, ठीक है, तो उसका साइड इफेक्ट कैसे हो सकता है? मदर अपने बच्चों को कैसे हार्म कर सकती है? मदर कांट हार्म देयर ओन चिल्ड्रंस।
फिर ऐसा कोई है नहीं कि आपको पानी की ही ज़रूर पड़े। आप इजीली कभी भी, इजी है कि किधर भी आप रहते हो तो वो पील निकाल के आप ले सकते हो। बच्चों को भी मतलब कन्विंस नहीं करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि इतना मीठा टेस्ट है पील का, तो कुछ भी मतलब ऐसा डिफ़िकल्ट नहीं है।
It's natural, and nature knows how to heal and help. We can learn a lot of things from nature. It's magical.
So I always knew there were a lot of other options out there in nature that could help us. I always learned from my companion animals. They never depended on any kind of medicines to live. So if they can do it in the wild, they can do it in other places. Why can't we do it? So my reliance and my love for anything that is in nature is what took me to flower therapy.
Physicians treat, but nature heals. Nature itself is the best physician. Nature healing force within each of us is the greatest force in getting well. Whereas flower remedies cuts down the side effects of other medications and therapies like radio and chemotherapy.
And we have tried all the vaccine cleansing remedy, especially people who are affected by vaccination. we are giving that as a first one, then only we are giving the remedy. So the remedy works in a good way.
And it's very much giving. It loves to give so many extra benefits.
जाते हैं कि भाई चलो ठीक है, हमें बुखार आया है या फिर कफ हुआ है या कोई एलर्जी हुई है, ठीक, हम फ्लावर रेमेडीज लेते हैं स्पेशल उस प्रॉब्लम के लिए जो हमें क्रिएट हुई है। लेकिन फ्लावर रेमेडीज हमारे बॉडी के अंदर जाती है तो उसके अलावा सर्दी है, खांसी है या छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम्स हुई है, उसके अलावा शरीर के कई अंगों पर इस तरह से असर करती है जैसे वो एक रिन्यू कर लेती है। साथ में वो जो उसका असर होता है, हमें एक खिलने का मौका मिलते जाता है। जब भी हम फ्लावर रेमेडीज लेते हैं, प्रसन्न होना चालू हो जाते हैं।
While treating any health conditions, flower remedies make a person mentally clear, emotionally stable, and gives them a stronger immunity.
I think, like it's been said, it works with your brain center. So the minute you're gonna, it's like pumping your brain center with positive things, obviously you're also gonna start feeling positive. And that also has a reflex in how you feel in general, like with your body, So it doesn't necessarily like go into your knee and like it didn't really regenerate cartilage for me. But somewhere in there, it gave me the strength to kind of take care of it. And by also the positive state of mind.
एंग्जाइटी कम हो जाती है उससे, एंग्जाइटी कम हो जाती है और ऐसे जैसे बार बार से टेंशन होता है या गुस्सा आता है, वो भी एकदम रिलैक्स हो जाता है माइंड उससे।
एनर्जी लेवल्स बहुत बढ़ती है, इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है। बिकॉज मैं कभी भी इतनी शांति से सो नहीं पाया था बहुत सालों से। फ्लावर्स हैव द पोटेंशियल्स टू गिव यू द बेस्ट एनर्जी। आप सोचो एक फ्लावर का प्रेजेंस आपको सूदिंग कर सकता है, तो उसकी पावर, उसकी एनर्जी आपका क्या चेंज कर सकती है। एंड इंडिया इज़ नॉट द ओनली कंट्री जहाँ फ्लावर रेमेडी पे लोग विश्वास कर रहे हैं या फ्लावर रेमेडी ले रहे हैं। हमारे डॉक्टर्स ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया कि वेस्टर्न फ्लावर्स को छोड़ के जो इंडिया में फ्लावर्स है, बिकॉज इंडिया इज़ अ फ्लावर रिच नेशन, इन फ्लावर्स पर रिसर्च करके बहुत अच्छा काम किया है।
It's used all around the world, from UK, America, Europe, almost everywhere.
Nowadays, there is a problem with COVID-19 and some other viral infections. And these flower remedies will really work very well to boost up the immune system. Okay, so, and it has given some wonderful results. Immune system boosting is very important, in fact, in any diseases. But particularly viral or bacterial infection, if we boost up the immune system with the help of flower remedies, we get a very encouraging results.
मैंने 2 वजह से फ्लावर रेमेडीज ट्राई की। एक तो ड्यूरिंग कोरोना के दरमियान लोगों की जनरली शुगर बहुत बढ़ जाती थी और इम्यूनिटी की भी ज़रूरत थी। तो मैंने डॉक्टर अतुल शाह से फ्लावर रेमेडीज़ का द्वारा इन्फ्यूज़ की गई हुई दवा ली, जिसके वजह से मेरा शुगर लेवल जो लोगों के बहुत बढ़ जाते थे, 300-400 लेवल तक पहुंच जाती थी, वो मेरी बिल्कुल अंडर कंट्रोल रही थी। एंड दैट वाज प्योरली बिकॉज ऑफ द फ्लावर रेमेडी दैट कुड इट रिमेन ड्यूरिंग द कोरोना द टफ टाइम अंडर कंट्रोल, एंड माय कोरोना लेवल आल्सो सबसाइडेड within 4 to 5 days. The level has come down.
And he got COVID. I mean, once everybody has to get, and he was okay in 1.5 days. And we just continued with that cold and fever medicine, and he was okay.
During pandemic, what happened that we all started working from home, and that's where I was so habituated of not stepping outside, and I developed anxiety of going outside, because whenever I used to step outside, I used to feel that I would get COVID. Someone recommended me about flower remedies, and that's how I got to know about it. I started taking precisely for this anxiety issues. I took it for almost 2-3 months, and I was literally seeing a lot of changes. So I was not able to step out of home without a bottle of water. I was having anxiety that any point of time I would have this anxiety attack and I would be on road. And I used to always carry a water bottle.
After 2-3 months, I was stepping outside home without water bottle, without any pills. I was not having my SOS medicines. And it was actually gave me back my confidence, which I had before COVID.
We also have flower remedies for prevention because we believe that prevention is better than cure. So why not learn how to remain healthy by using some of the flower remedies which definitely work very well for prevention of various diseases.
પ્રોટેક્શન માટે સરની જે બનાવેલી દવા અમે સ્ટાર્ટિંગમાં સરે કીધું તું જ્યારે પ્રોટેક્શનની દવા બની ગઈ ત્યારે તો એ દવા બી અમે લીધી સર પાસેથી અને અમને વિશ્વાસ સર માથે એટલો બંધાયેલો હતો કે અમને ખ્યાલ જ છે કે અમને કાંઈ જ નથી થવાનું. જ્યારે બધા ડરતા હતા, થોડી શરદી થઈ, ખાંસી થઈ, બધા ટેસ્ટ કરાવવા જતા હતા, અમે એ કોઈ દિવસ એ અનુભવ થયો જ નહીં. નોર્મલ આપણે સમય ચેન્જ થાય, મોસમ ચેન્જ થાય તો થોડું ઘણી શરદી ખાંસી બધાને થતી હોય, તાવ વગર થતું હોય, એ ચીજ બી અમને ઉલટી કોરોના કાળમાં થઈ જ નહીં. જે ડર હતો બધાને એ ડર અમને સરના ભરોસે અમને એ ડર હતો જ નહીં અમને. નહીં સરની દવાઓ અમે લીધી, વેક્સિનેશન લીધા, એનામાં બી અમને બીજાને બધી તકલીફો થઈ એ અમને કોઈ દિવસ તકલીફ ન થઈ.
Flowers are symbol of fertilization and new creativity. It brings forth new entity on the planet. Flower remedies help human beings not only to conceive but also to have a comfortable pregnancy and a smooth birthing process.
During my pregnancy, so from starting from 3rd month only, तो तभी से ही डॉक्टर ने मेरा ट्रीटमेंट चालू किया था. मतलब बाहर से भी मेरे मेडिसिन चालू थे और वो भी मुझे फ्लावर रेमेडी का मेडिसिन वगैरह देते थे. और बिल्कुल भी नहीं मुझे मतलब ऐसा कुछ डिलीवरी पेन एंड ऑल ऐसा प्रेगनेंसी के टाइम पे मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं हुआ, कुछ नहीं. और मेरे ट्विंस हैं, आई हैव डिलीवर्ड ट्विंस बेबी, अ बॉय एंड अ गर्ल.
मेरी प्रेगनेंसी में भी यूज़ किए हैं. स्टार्टिंग से लेके एंड तक मैंने बाहर का एक भी मेडिसिन नहीं खाया है. सर का ही मेडिसिन से पूरा 9 मंथ तक वही खाया है. मेरे प्रेगनेंसी बहुत अच्छा हुआ है, एकदम नॉर्मल, बच्चा भी एकदम नॉर्मल हुआ है. पूरा 9 मंथ तक मेडिसिन लिए है और उसके बाद भी मैंने कंटिन्यू किया. जो अपने आफ्टर प्रेगनेंसी के बाद भी मैंने मेडिसिन लिए.
जैसा डिलीवरी के टाइम पे मोस्टली वुमेंस को पेन वगैरह होता है, लेबर पेन एंड ऑल. तो मुझे किसी तरह का ऐसा पेन वगैरह कुछ ज़्यादा ऐसा हुआ नहीं. नॉर्मल जो स्टमक पेन होता है बस उतना ही था. और नॉर्मल डिलीवरी हुई है मेरी, सीजरिंग एंड ऑल कुछ ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ है. मेरी नॉर्मल डिलीवरी हुई है.
मुझे बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ है. जो भी प्रेगनेंसी में कुछ भी ऐसा वॉमिटिंग होता है कोई लोगों को, मुझे बिल्कुल एक ही वॉमिटिंग नहीं हुआ है उसमें. पूरा एकदम नॉर्मल में थी, ऐसे लगता ही नहीं था मैं ऐसे वो करके. और लास्ट दिन तक मैंने काम किया है और लास्ट दिन में मैं प्रेगनेंसी हॉस्पिटल में चली गई. एकदम ऐसा कुछ भी आराम नहीं, कुछ भी एकदम काम करके ही रह गई सर का मेडिसिन से.
और मैं एकदम एनर्जेटिक ही थी. मतलब मैं बेबीज़ होने के बाद आफ्टर 10 to 15 मिनट्स के बाद मैं खुद उठ के मैं मेरे बेबीज़ के पास उनके वार्ड में जाके उनको मिल के भी आई थी. तो मतलब सब वो डॉक्टर भी मुझे बोल रहे थे कि वो हॉस्पिटल की कि अरे मतलब क्या है, अब भी तो आप ऐसे कैसे यहाँ पे उठ के आए, आपको चक्कर वगैरह आ जाएगा, आप गिर जाओगे. मैं बोली मुझे कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, मैं एकदम ऑल ओके हूँ.
Even works for those having difficulties during pregnancy.
Second child is a real miracle for me. मीन्स मेरे बेटे फर्स्ट सन के बाद मेरा कुछ एकदम प्रॉब्लम हो गया था बॉडी में, तो उसकी वजह से मुझे सेकंड इश्यू चाहिए था, तो उसकी वजह से मैंने फ्लावर रेमेडी चालू की. तो वो फ्लावर रेमेडी जब मैंने चालू की तो 2-3 महीने के बाद आई कंसीव्ड वेरी नाइसली एंड मेरा बेटा भी एकदम हेल्दी आया था. एंड दैट टू माई डिलीवरी वॉज नॉर्मल.
I went to one India's topmost gynecologist. So, wherein she has detected that in one of my tubes, fallopian tubes, there is blockage. So, she has suggested me to go for laparoscopy surgery and to see that whether the tube is, how much the tube is blocked and whether the second fallopian tube is also blocked. We were supposed to do the laparoscopy in the month of March. But meanwhile, Mrs. More met us and she introduced me with Atul Shah sir and I started that medicines immediately, I think after 2 to 3 days. And when I did this test, it was March 7th or before 2 to 3 days, 4th or 5th March. And same month I conceived. And after 2 months, when they do after 10 weeks, they do the sonography from above. So the sonography, the radiologist told me that you are having twins. So I was very, very, literally I was crying. I was expecting for one child and I conceived with my twins. The moment was very unbelievable. My whole family was very happy. उसके बाद भी 1 year मेरा feeding, because of my feeding, because doctor had said, because I had twins, so doctor has suggested you only have to feed. You cannot means at least 6 months. But luckily I feed them 10 months and without any supplement.
During the breastfeeding time, maybe mother gets less milk or no milk at all. Such times, flower remedies help to improve breastfeeding for such mothers.
अबाउट 2 years दोनों बच्चों को मैंने ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग किया है, अबाउट 2 years, और मतलब प्रॉपरली उनको मैं ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग करती थी.
And because children are introduced to flower energies at a young age, it has been observed that they turn out to be smarter and more intelligent.
My entire family are very what I say, मतलब सब लोग बहुत खुश है because उन लोग ने जो medicines लिया उसकी वजह से मतलब their brain is much more like that. They are not like 2.5 year kid, they are like 5 years, मतलब almost double. Whatever you say only once, they will listen to that and they will say that. Means the grasping power is unexpected, and they are like Dr. Atul Shah had said that they will be like Gunda only, and they have become like that only. Yes, and my medicines are so powerful that means their grasping power and the memory will be very sharp, and touch wood, it's like that only.
वो बहुत होशियार है और ही इज वेरी मैच्योर, यू कैन से एकदम मैच्योर है. मीन्स अपने एज के हिसाब से बहुत मैच्योर है और उसकी मीन्स सब फील्ड में पढ़ाई में सब में अच्छा है, मगर थोड़ा चाइल्डिश तो सब लोग बच्चे होते ही है. वैसे तो उसने पूरी लाइफ अपनी एजुकेशन लाइफ, कभी मेरे बेटे 80% से नीचे नहीं आए, कभी भी नहीं. अप टू फर्स्ट हुए SSC कोई 80% से नीचे ना आए. मीन्स दैट ऑल्सो इज़ अ बिग बेनिफिट फॉर हिम मेडिसिन करने के बाद.
Exam time can be quite stressful for students. They can be nervous. They may have less confidence. They may not have mental clarity. At such times, flower remedies help students to prepare for their exams with better efficiency.
How old are you?
I'm 21 years old. When 21 is running, I'm in CA final right now. I have taken medicine when I was in 10th. Actually, that time I was quite depressed because that was my first board exams. So like I was quite depressed how my paper is going to, what I'm going to do. I want to achieve some good marks and good percentage in that exam. So like my father contacted Dr. Atul Shah and he has given me some medicine of memory and confidence and everything. And I've taken that medicine for 3 months, January to March. In March I have my exam. So like in January I was quite depressed. I was like literally crying what to do. I don't know anything. I know, but I don't have confidence. Like what will I do? So I've taken the medicine within like 15-20 days, and yeah, 1 month like you can take. By the mid of February I was like quite confident, I'm going to do. And the day when I was going for the exam, that day like earlier when I was to used to give my exams, like school exams only, that time also I used to cry what I'm going to do. I don't know how my paper is going to be. But that time my board exam was there, for which I was like 3 months back I was quite depressed regarding that. Like that day when I was going for my board exam, I remember the day, it was like 10 o'clock my exam was, and I was in boarding school. So we used to leave for for examination hall at 9 o'clock. So in the morning, I got up at around say 8 o'clock. I got freshened up, everything. Like I was quite confident that no, today I'm going to crack the paper. And that was my maths paper, I remember. And the paper was like, I got 100 out of 100 in that paper. And the same happened, the same story repeated in the 12th also. But in 10th, 91%, and in 12th, 89.8.
Surabhi Agarwal is successful today because of her hard work, intelligence, and focus. Flower Remedies helped her to remain calm and face exam fear. It has been this many years. Today, she is a chartered accountant residing in the Middle East and giving flower remedies to her child.
In addition to this, I have taken this remedy 2 times. One is for my kid. So now I have a kid and he is like 1.5 years old. And I took those medicines till the time he completed 1 year. So I started when he was like 4 months, and I took it till he was 1 year. And let me tell you, his teething, his age of teething, his age of the big changes that happens in initial months of your life went so smooth that I never been to a doctor during that.
It works for all students. Even if you take help from in between or during exams, it will still benefit them.
I have given student kit formula to a child. It not only, see, she has given 3 formulas in that. Apart from that, we are seeing a lot of change in the child. Child becomes obedient. Child becomes more listening. So that and all is a miraculous change the parents see in the child. The child who is always rebellious, especially because of the corona season, most of the children are addicted to the gadget. And now, because of the gadget addiction, they feel they get the rebellious character when they talk to the parents. If the parent says something, they say no. The Google is attracting them much more than the parents. So all that we are seeing, there is a change is happening. The child is also using the things wisely, not just going into the indulgence of the gadget. That I'm seeing.
Yeah, again, important is not only physical in the sport. There should be mental and emotional also. So very few people are talking about the mental emotional thing, and flower remedy is the one which can really help. It's very easy to tell that don't keep stress, you will win, you will do this. But that is just affirmation given. But from inside, you get that feeling that yes, I can do it, I will do it. And this can happen with flower remedies if we give them that fear, phobia, lack of confidence, depression, will go, and on a positive side, their confidence will boost up. They will think very positive. They will feel little aggressive to go ahead and one step more than what they can do it, like that. So all this possible there, and at physical level, yes, excellent. These are not hormonal based remedy, okay, not steroid based remedy. So no question about taking flower remedies and your steroids can get disturbed, or it is just energy based remedy, and it is boosting your energy, immune system, your emotional and mental system also. You will feel taking right diet also. It is creative, so you will take your own thinking, you will take charge of yourself, and you will start taking right diet, right thinking about it, right amount of sleep. All these things are very, very important in sports events.
But in 9th grade, I had a major setback. So I've been playing basketball since I was like 6 years old, since I was in 1st grade. And I've been playing with my heart throughout my life. But in 9th standard, when there was just overload of playing and studies and I couldn't handle both, I fell and I had a ligament tear. So I had an ACL along with meniscus. So that was like the major drawback in my life. So obviously visited Dr. Kaka and told him about it. So first, for safer side, he obviously told me to get all my x-rays, MRIs done to know exactly what my issue was.
So when you get all of these things done, you also consult an orthopedic. So when we consulted all the higher grade doctors, they clearly told me it's a tear, and it's like a 3rd grade tear, which is bad. You're supposed to get a surgery at that point. And I was too young for that. I was really in 9th standard. So at that point in life, my parents were also very scared. Like, if I get a surgery in 9th grade, then what's my life ahead? So obviously we got all our, we consulted all the required doctors, but we would only listen to one doctor. That's my family doctor. That's Dr. Kaka. But the next day, with all our results and all, we went to Dr. Kaka. First thing he told me is, "Beta, you don't need surgery. I'll fix it." I started with Dr. Kaka's medication and basic rehab after that. Like, along with the medication, obviously I did rise, I did rest, I iced my knee, I kept it elevated. I also started physiotherapy after that because you need the knee moment. But my basic internal healing was really through Dr. Kaka's medicines. Like, I could feel it. So, like, I could see instant recovery. Like, I know it sounds all vague and it sounds like it's impossible with a ligament tear, like it's not that easy, but with his medicine it was just simpler. It wouldn't be easy, but it was simpler. Like, dealing with the recovery was not that tough. People go through a lot during recoveries. I've had friends who've had like surgeries done after ACL, and they literally asked me one question, that why didn't you get surgery? I said I was told not to. He's like, that's impossible. Every doctor suggests surgery, especially after a 3rd grade tear. But I said my doctor fixed me, so I wouldn't need more.
Flower remedies work with accidents also.
और मुझे ना 4 साल पहले 2018 में ये मेरी फिंगर जो है ना, वो मिक्सर ग्राइंडर में चर्न हो गई थी मेरी फिंगर, तो पूरी नेल बेड के साथ ही उड़ गई थी। तो शाम का टाइम था, तो अभी हम लोग दईसर रहते, तो हम यहाँ पे तो नहीं आ सकते। तो हमारे जो वहाँ पे जनरल फिजिशियन है ना, तो हम पहले स्टार्टिंग में मेडिकेशन के लिए, फर्स्ट एड के लिए वहाँ उनके पास ही गए। तो हमारे जो जनरल फिजिशियन सर थे ना, तो उन्होंने तो ऐसे बोल दिया था कि भाई अभी ये नेल बेड के साथ में निकल गया है, तो ये नेल आने का तो कोई चांस है ही नहीं। हील हो जाएगा लेकिन नेल नहीं आएगा, पूरा फिंगर राउंड हो जाएगा तेरा। तो मैंने बोला ठीक है। फिर दूसरे दिन, क्योंकि बैक ऑफ द माइंड चल रहा था कि कल तो जाना ही है सर के पास, सुबह में अतुल शाह सर के पास जाना है, तो उनसे मेडिकेशन करवा लिया, फर्स्ट एड करवा के। फिर दूसरे दिन नेक्स्ट डे हम सर के पास आए, अतुल शाह सर के पास। फिर सर ने दवाई वगैरह दिया, तो मैंने सर को बोला कि सर हमारे डॉक्टर ने ऐसे बोला है कि ये नेल बेड के साथ में फिंगर निकल गई है, तो आने के चांसेस नहीं है। तो सर ने बोला कि ट्रस्ट है ना तुझे मुझ पर? मैंने बोला हाँ सर, तभी तो सर ने बोला ठीक है, फिर तू मेडिसिन चालू रख। तो विद इन 20 डेज आई कैन शो यू द माई फिंगर्स। ऐसी फिंगर हो गई थी मेरी, ऐसी उड़ गई थी फिंगर पूरी मेरी, चर्न हो गई थी। फिर सर की 20 डेज मेडिसिन लेने के बाद मेरी फिंगर ऐसी हो गई विद इन 20 डेज। और अभी फ़िलहाल ये फिंगर मेरी वैसी है, जो मतलब डॉक्टर ने बोला था कि उसके नेल्स आने के कोई चांसेस ही नहीं है। आज की तारीख में हर 15 दिन के बाद मुझे नेल कट करना पड़ रहा है।
सर ऐसा है कि 2005 में ऑटो रिक्शा पलटी हो गया था, तो उसमें मेरा एक पैर पूरी तरह डैमेज हो गया था। उसके बाद में मैंने दवाखाना में गया, वहाँ पे इलाज कराया, तो वहाँ पे उन्होंने ट्रीटमेंट करके मेरे को बैसाखी दे दिया। ओके, तो वहाँ मेरा ट्रीटमेंट चालू था। उधर ऑपरेशन हुआ था, उसमें उन्होंने रॉड डाला था कुछ पैर के अंदर, स्क्रू मारा था यहाँ पे वहाँ पे, लेकिन यहाँ का बीच का हड्डी मतलब पूरा टूट के चूरा हो गया था। वो जगह पे हड्डी था ही नहीं वहाँ पे। तो डॉक्टर ने बोला इसको आपको टाइम जाएगा। तो फिर भी अभी मेरे को अपना परिवार चलाने के लिए, मैं ऑटो रिक्शा ड्राइवर हूँ, परिवार चलाने के लिए मेरे को रिक्शा चलाना ही था। तो मैं रिक्शे में बैसाखी बांध के अपना रिक्शा चलाता था। तो एक बार शाम को कुछ 6:30-7 बज रहा था, मैं मिलन सब्बे के यहाँ पे अपना रिक्शा रुकाया था। उस टाइम बारिश हो रही थी वहाँ पे। तो ऐसे में एक कोई पर्सन आए, मेरे रिक्शे में बैठ गए। उन्होंने बोला मुझे खार जाना है। तो अब मेरा रूट वहाँ का जाने का नहीं था, क्योंकि मुझे अंदर ही जाना था। फिर भी मैं उनको बैठा के यहाँ खार में जय भारत सोसाइटी तक लेके आया। तो उन्होंने मुझसे रास्ते में पूछा ये क्या हुआ था आपको? मैंने बताया उनको अपना प्रॉब्लम कि मेरा ऐसा हो गया था। तो उन्होंने बोला कि आप मेरे पीछे आइए। तो उन्होंने मेरे को रिक्शे का भाड़ा भी नहीं दिया था उस टाइम पे। और मुझे पता नहीं कौन है। मैं भी बैसाखी अपना रिक्शे से निकाला, उनके पीछे पीछे गया तो देखा तो उनके सब दवाखाने में सिर्फ जड़ी बूटी का फूल का सब बनाया ऐसा उस था। तो उन्होंने बोला कि आपको मैं 1 साल में खड़ा करूँगा। तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि सर मैं आपका फ़ीस तो इतना दे नहीं पाऊँगा। वो बोला आप फ़ीस मत देना चलेगा, लेकिन आप मेरे यहाँ से ट्रीटमेंट करो। वो हो जाने के बाद वहाँ पे तो उन्होंने मेरे को दवा दिया वहाँ पे, बोला 1 वीक के बाद वापस आना, आप वापस लेके जाना मेरे पास से। फिर उन्होंने मेरा रिक्शे का पैसा भी दिया मुझे वहाँ पे। और एटलीस्ट 7-8 महीने के बाद में फिर मैं अपना पैर रख के चलना शुरू किया। जब यहाँ से मैं दवा स्टार्ट किया तो मेरे को 1-1.5-2 महीने में पेन मेरा ख़त्म हो गया इतना। वो जब शादी में मैं गया सर, तो मुझे ऐसा कॉन्फिडेंस हो गया कि मैं भी वो कर सकता हूँ। उधर शादी में मैं डांस भी किया, आज भी मैं 2 माले पे से पूरी मार सकता हूँ। फिर डॉक्टर अतुल शाह का जो थेरेपिस्ट है ये बहुत अच्छी है, मेरे लिए तो बहुत फ़ायदेमंद साबित हुआ है। इससे मैं आज अपने पैरों पे खड़ा हूँ।
Over the years, we got opportunity to treat all kinds of patients with very challenging diagnosis, like avascular necrosis of head of femur, or keratitis in the eye, or cystic sarcosis in the brain, or non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, or toxoplasmosis, or post-herpetic neuralgia. The list just goes on and on. The power of flower is indeed very fascinating, and our journey continues. See what others got to say if the remedies should be given a trial.
બધી દવાઓ કરાવતા હો તો પછી મારા હિસાબે એક વખત આ દવા કરાવવામાં કાંઈ ખોટું નથી.
You will have absolutely nothing to lose. Give it a try. Watch that calmness come. Watch that energy, that positive energy that comes around is extremely encouraging, very motivating. Give it a try. You'll really be surprised when suddenly something completely unexpected happens. In which case, in my case, a cat that was been in drips for 2 weeks suddenly getting up in a day and wanting to eat is a remarkable feeling. Don't deny your animal the right to live a good life.
मैं उनको ये बोलूँगा, ट्राई की बात छोड़ो, दौड़ो उसकी तरफ।
और मुझे ना जो लोग भी मुझे सुन रहे हैं या देख रहे हैं, मुझे सबको बस यही बोलना है कि अगर आपको किसी ने, कोई भी डॉक्टर ने ऐसे कुछ बोल दिया है कि भाई आपका ये डिसीज़ है जो क्योरेबल नहीं है, और आपने किसी ने भी मतलब ये एक्सेप्ट कर लिया है कि हमें इसके साथ अभी जीना पड़ेगा, इसकी कोई मेडिसिन नहीं है, तो प्लीज़ 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 आप एक बार आइए, फ्लावर शक्ति की शक्ति को आजमाइए।
Often there's one question that is asked to us, is this a placebo? And let me tell you, if this was a placebo, how will it work on, say, 1-year-old child, or animals, or agriculture? For placebo, the person has to know that something has been given to him, and then there is some effect of it, maybe on a mind level. But when these remedies work on animals, on plants, and maybe infants less than 1 year, they know nothing about what is given to them, and yet it works. That proves the point that these are not placebo, but there is a proper science behind it.
How can this be placebo when we see things, patients with rheumatoid arthritis for years with dagger-like pains through the joint, instant pain going, movement where the joints haven't moved in years, movement coming back, ability to hold things, vision coming back. My own mother, her back was like this and it straightened up. So this is impossible to be a placebo. If you're going to doubt this, you're the loser, because I'm both a scientist, a surgeon, and an open-minded doctor. So the choice is yours. This regenerative medicine is the medicine of the future. So you have every right to be a part of it, really get to know it, and believe me, it's incredible what you will see for you and your patients.
Whether you want to believe it or not, it is real, it works. So if you want to take the advantage of it, you come and take the experience yourself.
If you wish to learn more about Indian flower remedies, we have put together a level 1 online course which you can register and complete it at the pace that suits you. If you want to know more about our remedies, then visit our website. If you want to listen to us on various topics, then we have a couple of YouTube channels which has hundreds of videos for you to watch. We are also on social media like Instagram and Facebook. And also we have a WhatsApp and Telegram group where we discuss and exchange information. Also we have offline courses, we call them as workshops, which are more practical. We show a lot of fast results with flower remedies. We do hands-on training, and these are done in Mumbai. These are usually 2 or 3 days where each participant can actually learn and experience the healing power of Indian flowers.
Thank you so much, because I am using only bark therapies. There are 38 flowers. Now you have opened up for me, for people to use all these beautiful Indian flowers.
Maybe from tomorrow after reaching Hyderabad. So my perception about the flowers may change. Wonderful. So after seeing some flower, okay, this may be useful for that purpose. Yeah, this flower may be useful for
Me myself, I'm also a flower practitioner from other modalities, so I have certain knowledge on all these healing. But then I think for them, right, they are in another level, because usually for energy healing we address more on the emotional and mental issues. Those are already like very good enough already for if as long as you can address or heal very deep in the soul level. But for them, right, for their modality and from 30-40 year research, I feel that is another revolution of the healing, because they also address not only on the emotional and mental issues, but it's also on the physical issues, which is very fascinating.
I especially come to India for the workshop, and this is my first time in India. It's amazing, very breathtaking, and I don't know how to say. It's very touching actually to see how their approaches can relieve a lot of suffering.
And it has also got a complementary thing. So we can give with allopathy medicine as a complementary to homeopathy, as a complementary to Ayurvedic, or naturopathy, or magnetotherapy, whatever, or acupuncture.
Being an orthopedic surgeon, definitely I'm going to explore this flower remedies even for my patients.
In our medicine profession, as a allopathy or Ayurvedic or homeopathy or alternative medicine, always we have to try. We are not stuck to the one pathy.
And what better than healing non-invasively in a very holistic way?
As a Western trained doctor who's been in Europe and the US, I would say if you're looking to really upgrade to what is the finest system of medicine, this is it. And when should you do it? Now. Because the world needs you as a doctor, you as a person to be at your strongest, healthiest, best right now, to be more empowered than ever before. So I'm filled with a lot of gratitude to Dr. Atul Shah and Dr. Rupa Shah for really gently bringing this incredibly powerful yet loving, subtle form of medicine to the world. Thank you so much.
There are so many flowers on this planet. There's so much to discover, so much to learn. We have just touched only the surface of this entire universe. What we know is just a drop in the ocean. A message to government about incorporating this very gentle, simple science of flower healing It is also mentioned in Ayurveda, Siddha medicine, and I recommend that our government take the first step to incorporate this in natural healing systems. More and more people will get benefited because it is so gentle, cheap, very simple, and no side effects. I thank Prakruti Ma, Mother Nature, for always being there for us, guide us, and hold our hands. Infinite universe, infinite possibilities. Our journey will continue. What I have found to be deeply transformative and touching my soul, that is the very knowledge I want the whole world to know about. We are born from nature. We are nature, and nature alone can heal us. When we became doctors, we never knew that this is going to be our journey of learning about healing power of the flowers. But we continued. I have the same message for all the doctors across the world who are helping millions of patients to keep their minds open, to learn about very simple, gentle, and very, very easy method of healing. Keep yourself open to new learning. Future of this flower remedies is very bright. Over the 37 years of our journey, we see across the world already millions are using it. In another 50 years, this may become a normal system of healing. This is what I can see. This is subtle energy revolution. It is here to stay. Dear God, when I see flower, I see you. When I feel the flower, I feel you. When I smell a flower, I smell you. When I hear a flower call me, I hear you. When I talk to a flower, I'm talking to you. When I become one with the flower, I become you. I become one with you. I become you.